How about my review of Phoenix? And Phoenix is a movie that you may or may not have heard of, unless you're somebody who routinely seeks out foreign films or you're somebody who lives in an art cinema. This is a film that you may or may not have heard of. The way I discovered this film was from another review, which was quite glowing, so I decided to check and see what the Metascore was on Metacritic. Saw that it had a 90, which is quite impressive. So I decided to check it out for myself, blindly without watching any trailers, just having the synopsis in my head, which I will discuss in a minute, and I'm here to give you my thoughts on it, of course. Phoenix is directed by Christian Petzold, and this film is from Germany, so in other words, you do have to read subtitles if you're somebody who does not understand the German language. But as for the synopsis, it's about a Holocaust survivor named Nelly Lenz, who is saved and returned to Berlin by her friend Lene, and she has to undergo reconstructive surgery because of a facial disfigurement. The surgery does alternate her appearance, so when she does return to her husband, who is also a Holocaust survivor as well, and is also suspected to be a culprit in Nelly's capturing by her friend Lene, he does not recognize her. And that's really all you need to know going into this film, because this is one of those films, the less you know going into it, the better, because there is a plot line that is introduced about 40 minutes in that made me go, holy shit, this is setting itself up for something great. I mean, it's like, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention, and it delivers on that. What's the best thing about this film are the interactions between Nelly Lenz and her husband, because this is them sort of almost getting to know one another all over again, because, I mean, she knows who he is, but he has absolutely no idea who she is, which is funny to watch, and sometimes their interactions can be incredibly uncomfortable, as well as tense, and sometimes even quite romantic. Oh, and by the way, he thinks that his wife is dead, so... And you might be wondering, why exactly does she go back to him, knowing what he may or may not have done? She might be testing him to kind of see, you know, did he do it, did he not do it? He's the only thing that she has, because the Nazis didn't only take her home, they didn't only kill her family, they took pretty much everything away from her, her identity, everything imaginable. And he's the only thing that she has left. And the movie doesn't give an insight into what their relationship was like prior to the Nazis or prior to her capturing. The film just kind of gives little details here and there for you to kind of piece together your own idea of what their relationship was like. This film has a fair amount of ambiguity, however, that does not mean that the characters are not developed, because they are. In other words, this is not one of those art films that has absolutely no meat and tries to get by on soulless symbolism and just a heaps amount of ambiguity to make itself seem smart. Nelly is a character who I greatly cared for, and she's outstandingly portrayed by Nina Haas. Again, going back to Nelly and her husband's relationship, I personally think, and this is what I gathered from the film, that they may have had some issues before Berlin went to shit. And to add on why I think she would return to her husband with such desperation and with such great denial, even though her friend Lene urges her not to return to him, is because she's also trying to distance herself away from what happened to her at the concentration camps. By trying to return things to what they were, yet at the same time playing the role of a different person, this is her way of repressing all those emotions, all those images. But of course, when something like that happens to you, unfortunately, it becomes a part of you and you just can't escape it. You do see that internal struggle with her in the performance, and like I said, it is quite outstanding. Overall, Phoenix is an excellent film to check out. You will probably hear more about it by the time award season comes around, because I have a feeling that this is going to be a big one. This will probably even win the Best Foreign Picture Award, although it's the Academy Award, so I don't put a whole lot of stock into that sort of thing. But I mean, hell, it's fun to talk about. But yeah, it's a great film. Do check it out. Even if you're somebody who's not into foreign films, this, I think you'd find something to be entertained by, because this is a very entertaining film. At the same time, it's also thought-provoking. So I'm going to give Phoenix a strong 4 out of 5. It's one of the best films of the year. And as always, let me know what you think of it if you have seen it. And thank you so much for watching.